Good evening. Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm about to give a really unpopular opinion, and I'm sure it's going to be especially unpopular amongst women.
I'm Gray Mars. Break a record by being with 100 men in one day. And right after she was done, she recorded a documentary.
I'm a vegan weed. Call yourself fresh and wear the same weak ass turtleneck on every show. Goddamn. Then we got goddamn the Sudanese Sambo. Bruh, man.
And I'm Enzo. Bringing up in my lives is they're like, oh well, he's violating the Constitution by having a meme coin and him making money off it in office and everything like that. I was like, if that was the case, like there would be lawsuits up the ass and impeachment in court.
I'm skeptic. Like I always say, don't let anybody trample on your constitutional rights.
I'm Mia. That's not a correct power dynamic in my mind. Typically, the people that are trying to be removed are not in control. That's why they're easily being removed.
The government, the states, they start putting these RICO acts on Diddy, all of these guys, and try to put it on these ongoing criminal organizations. I ain't never seen the government put a RICO act on the KKK.
Switch happened. Come on, man. You gotta acknowledge this. This is the problem that I have with elders like you, because you fail to acknowledge that this stuff has happened.
If we sit there and be old school, we gonna miss the boat. You know, a lot of this kids 19 years old buying houses with Bitcoin, buying Maserati.
Wow.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Described him as one of the most dangerous men on the face of the earth.
Welcome to the Man Cave. I hate hearing my own voice. Welcome to the Man Cave. I'm Gray Mars.
I'm 85 Slim.
I'm Heaven.
I'm Doc.
Ken Billions on the check-in. What's goody?
For sure. So, I'm going to start it off with a funny video because we talk about politics. And Lotto actually got stumped on a political question. So I'm going to see if you guys can get it right.
These make me smarter. Hold on. I got you. Hold on.
So $2,000 off if you can give me right answer. Cool?
Okay.
The 45th president of USA and the 47th president of USA, they both have the same parents. How is that possible?
Y'all know the answer?
They both was the best ever.
Okay, for sure. Now let's see what she say.
Got the same parents. The 45th president of the USA and the 47th president got the same parents?
Yes.
How do the 45th president and the 47th president got the same parents?
It's a mystery.
They got the same parents because God made us all. And we all got the same parents. Because we not on the 47th president yet. That's why.
It is. You want to know the answer? So the 45th president was Donald Trump, and the 47th president is also Donald Trump.
Too bad.
All right, Slim, you got it right. Do you feel like Lotto should have known that answer?
I mean, she should have, but that just goes to show you where we are as a society. She know how to twerk.
Lotto actually raps she has to have like a ghostwriter because she drops a lot of metaphors. A lot of stuff she says. I don't know if you ever heard of stuff, But if you listen to her, you'll be like, there's no way that she wrote this, because she does say a bunch of clever stuff in her song. But that, for me, confirms that she probably has a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Ken, do you feel like she should have known the answer?
No, because intellect is not a rite of passage for MCs in modern times. So if this was Jizza, then I'd be like, yeah, you know what I mean? But you don't have to read to be an MC now. So the dumber you are, that's more of a rite of passage. So this is not about intellect for MCs. There's no barrier to entry. So you could just be dumb as shit and be a rapper.
For sure. Doc, are there any smart rappers?
Oh no, there's a plethora of intelligent rappers. There's a lot of gentlemen who like that are well like informed and know what's going on, you know, that rap. But Lotto ain't gotta do all that ass fat, man. What you talking about, man? Lotto ain't gotta know who the president is, man. Yeah.
Ever, you the female on here. Lotto, you know, a lot of people think she just gets looks for her looks, that people listen to her. Do you feel like a woman doesn't need anything if she has
I
looks?
feel like she definitely has a ghostwriter, because there is no way that's just a basic answer. They're the same person. It doesn't matter. It could have been Bush. He was in office twice. It could, like, it's just, if they have the same parents, it's the same person. If she just kept it simple, she was thinking too hard. But yeah, no, she should have known that.
So
I
this
think
is
that's just basic.
So this is the man cave. So I don't know if y'all know who not the punk is, but he basically went on a podcast and said, you know, what a man's role is.
A woman should submit to the man because he's stronger, right?
Not at all.
No.
I'm more intelligent. Yeah. I'm more intelligent than a woman. Just like I'm more intelligent than you.
You know what emotions is? Emotions will keep her intact with God, right? If you teach a woman how to control it, you can, like, she can really channel. She can channel information and give it back to you, right? She's a divine feminine, right? You're a divine masculine, right? No one is meant to rule over nobody. Nothing else.
No.
Over
People
anything.
are definitely meant to rule
what
over
else
others.
rule over anything else? Name anything else that rule over something besides
Even
us.
in the animal
Name
kingdom.
something else.
Men
Name
rule.
the world was ran by queens, right? The world by queens.
It was never run by queens.
Listen,
It was never run by women. This world was never run by women.
Let me tell you the truth. The world was ran by queens, right? I saw mama. And little bitty white men came, took over. And when they took over, they erased history, right? And anything that they couldn't destroy, they said they built. And then they wiped away all the women and replaced them with all ugly ass white men that didn't even fucking exist. And said they was motherfucking kings, and they wasn't no motherfucking kings. Stop playing on me. How the fuck a peasant gonna be a king? Right? They need, listen, I'm just gonna keep it real, right?
Who enslaved who?
Everything.
Who enslaved who?
Oh,
who enslaved who?
It
was the white man who enslaved your ancestors, not the other way around.
But guess what?
Keep it real.
It depends on what, right? The only thing is real is now. Life is moment to moment. He don't understand.
He sounds like a woman saying body count don't matter. He sounds like a woman saying body count don't matter. Your path matters. Karma matters. What you do matters.
You don't even know the true value of a woman or what a woman truly is. So don't talk about women.
Oh, I already did.
You're gonna sit and say women should submit to you.
100%.
Why?
Because a man is meant to lead, and a woman is not.
That's why.
Because a woman is emotionally based, and a man is logically based, and you need more logic than emotion.
Who told you that?
Well, my daddy, who raised me.
A man.
Again.
A man.
Again. That's why I pulled
out
the money.
You that, right?
Heaven. Can women rule, or do they have to listen to men?
I've been married twice. Men are emotional. They just they're not taught how to handle their emotions. They're not allowed to validate their emotions unless it's anger. In my personal opinion. And women don't make that any better. I think both of those individuals were bitches. One's clearly a white supremacist, racist, because he immediately said, I'm smarter than you too. Why? Why is that? Why do you think that you're smarter than him? Okay. So anything else he had to say was just anyways. I have more like military service than both of them combined, I'm pretty sure. And I own my own house and I do all the repairs on my house and I handle everything. And I'm logical. So, and I'm emotional. Absolutely. But women can be everything. And yeah.
For sure. Doc, I'm pretty sure you know who 607 Unc is. What'd you think about the clip and what you think about 607 Unc?
What I think about him personally is I mean, he came to the internet for sensationalization. So part of him coming to the internet is there's rarely a clip of him not arguing with somebody, not trying to have a controversial take or point. And about the clip, I mean, you know, that everybody has their own personal opinion. There are men who feel like that's how, and men who feel like that's how. I think you just got to do whatever work for you. Like some people got it, some people don't got it. However, it's gonna work for you, player. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta go through the world. You know what I'm saying? Navigating that for whatever's best for your life.
For sure. Ken, the video that I saw from you on TikTok, you were talking about that the black man uses his body and the white man uses like psychology, and like that's the difference between like the power systems between the two groups. Someone was calling like this racism, like how Heaven said about their conversation. So you know, basically with that psychology, do you feel like that was racist, or do you feel like there was a constructive conversation?
See, I understand racism as power, right? We are in a space where now racism has kind of reduced to language, but like I understand racism as you are a highly skilled individual and I'm able to lock you out from pursuing economics. You can't build, you can't get an education, you can't import, you can't export, right? That's racism to me, not words, right? As far as like the logic is a branch of philosophy. No one is born logical. Logic is actually a skill set that you learn. This is why there's always leadership conferences to teach you how to govern and how to rule, right? So you have people that are impulsive, you have people that are assertive, but logic and leadership, those kind of things are not really gender-based. They're skill-based, right? So you could teach a woman anything. You could teach a male anything. Emotion, everybody's emotional. We're always in a state of emotion, right? So a woman might express the emotion physically on the outside. The male will express the same thing internally, but the same thing is happening to both of them. Now, one is on the outside, one is on the inside. But as far as that conversation, those are very nuanced. And it's like when you speak in memes and talking points, it's like, you know what I mean? They're sound bites, but those are nuanced conversations, because the role of a man and a woman is going to change, depend on environmental factors. In a time of war, the behavior of a male is going to change. In a time of peace, the behavior of a male is going to change. In the desert, the male is going to change. In a tropical environment, the male is going to change. So it depends on the environment and so many factors. These conversations are dangerous because they're based on nuance and not like Doc was saying, sensationalism.
For sure. Slim, I don't know if you know who 607 Unc is, but he used to rap. He said he ghost wrote for Nelly and he never got paid, and that Nelly owed him all this money. And basically he wasn't getting any motion off of him rapping. So he started doing the crazy stuff online. Do you feel like that's the way now for like when rappers not successful to just go and, you know, make crazy content?
Absolutely. I agree with Doc. I think it's like a shock value thing. Dude ugly. He don't know what he be talking about. You know what I mean? It's just one of those scenarios that, you know, that's basically to get people drawn in. You got the black versus the white. Now you got a conversation, you got the content. So that's basically where we are now. As far as what they were speaking of, I mean, at the end of the day, if you got a good woman who's strong, because if you lose your job or something and she can hold you down, so be it. But naturally, a man is designed to lead mentally. That's just who we are. We just men. Now, if you got a woman that basically make more money than you can't be mad. You know what I mean? She might have to take the bill one day. But at the end of the day, you still have your differences, or you still have what you could do equally. And I don't know. I just think that clip was kind of crazy.
Can I ask you something real quick? So when you say a man is designed, you think all men or select men?
I say real men, and I think it's real men that's selected.
Ooh,
For sure.
sorry, I like that comment. I think when it comes to as a woman, if a man takes charge and he shows that he's logical, and he shows in his actions, not just his words, in his actions, in every little thing that he does, that he's a provider, that he's going to open the door, that you don't have to do anything, he's going to do it, then you will see a woman absolutely submit.
There you go.
No,
because I believe I personally, and mind you, I can do everything. I can do all the things. And
I hate it.
So you know,
I hate it because women
but I
always
don't want to have to.
When they put you in a box, they're gonna say a real man would, and
Real
that's how
man
they're gonna use that against you. You know, because they're gonna always move the goalpost to say, if you don't do what I want you to do, you're not a real man.
Some women, because some women are manipulative and abusive in their ways, and they have issues that they need to work on. But that's where your own personal discernment comes in to actually get to know a person and talk to them.
I would argue most women, though. I date women. So what I would argue is most women you meet do that.
That depends on the women you're dealing with.
Go scroll down your time.
Slim, we right here
right now.
Because that's what it is. Like that. Like, hey,
keeping it real, bro.
Now, real quick, in terms of like the real man thing. So when during the
I say
explanation,
mature. Let's not say real. I feel like that's diminishes like men in general. So
okay, so
like a maturity level when you get to a mature man level.
So for melanated people, right? Part of us being called savages by conquerors, when they encountered melanated people, many times there wasn't a hierarchical structure between the man and woman. So when the Europeans was coming upon melanated people, there wasn't this man over woman thing. There was a balance many of the times. And because of there was a balance, they called us savages. So roles were dispersed based on abilities. It wasn't gender based. A lot of the gender based things comes from being conquered. But when we peel back the layers historically, like what bro was saying about like it's designed for the man to lead. But when we peel back the layers, we see many tribes and cultures where the women are warriors, women are hunters, and this is what Europeans, how they found us. They found women in roles that traditionally they thought men should be in. So there was a flip in, like, they called us, they thought we were primitive because the man and the woman were working together. There wasn't no one on top of each other.
I think that mimics nature, because if you look at any species, that's how it works. With women being the matriarchs, they lead in a sense, where it's a balance.
For sure.
Not just you take the trash out and you do this. We're gonna do this together. I'm gonna hunt and you're gonna cut it up and make sure, you know what I mean? String it up, do the things. I think you're absolutely right, Ken. The balance is off when it comes to that. And that is absolutely a colonial mindset.
So this is what happened today when the lockdown was at Fort Stewart, because there was an active shooter.
Army's Fort Stewart is under lockdown. According to the police spokesperson there at the fort, this is Lieutenant Colonel Angel Tomko. The incident centering around the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team area, where police have confirmed to CNN, quote, there is an active shooter. They didn't give us additional details around that, beyond that. We do know that all gates leading into and out of the fort are currently closed. And according to the Facebook page for the Fort Stewart, casualties have been reported, they wrote on there. The situation, of course, is ongoing. Now, Fort Stewart is the largest Army installation east of the Mississippi. It trains and deploys active and reserve Army units. It is also the home to the 3rd Infantry Division and is located just 40 miles southwest of Savannah, Georgia.
I'm going to play the timeline, too, so we can all have context on what happened.
Just before the 11 a.m. hour locally there in Georgia, law enforcement was dispatched at 10:56 a.m. for what was described as a possible shooting at that time at the complex. 11:09 a.m., just about 15 minutes later, emergency medical personnel were dispatched to treat the wounded soldiers. Just before that, the entire base was put on lockdown, I should note. And then at 11:35 a.m., the shooter was apprehended. And about 45 minutes later, Fort Stewart then was able to lift the lockdown of the main containment area. But the second complex is still in lockdown. We're still awaiting word on the different lockdown area.
All right. So, Doc, this is near you. What the lady then saying that was actually 4 or 5 soldiers that like stopped him when he started shooting people and like dragged him down. So, I mean, how do you feel about, you know, being a veteran and as well living in Georgia and this happening there?
I guess it's a crazy thing to happen, but I mean, soldiers are just like anybody else. I mean, soldiers have regular lives, and it's things that go on in the Army sometimes, and you have differences with people that might cause you to get shot. You know, you just happen to live on base, so I don't think that's a stretch to think. I know, you know, when I was in the Army, we had differences of opinions with some other soldiers. We'd have been outside of the barracks fighting 30 on 30 before, you know what I'm saying? Slapping people across the head with bottles and all type of shit. So, you know, it can get like out of hand sometimes, you know, but that's just where they at. So, you know, I don't think he went there with the intentions of shooting random people. I think he had people in mind he wanted to shoot, and he probably just had some sort of disagreement with him. I think he should have handled it a different way because he probably ruined his life, but that's just how it is sometimes.
For sure. Heaven, you're like real passionate about your service. How do you feel about a serviceman going and actually attacking other soldiers?
I'm passionate because I just retired in 2021. I'm actually, I was stationed there. And I still have soldiers, and so I'm kind of actually really concerned about who the soldiers who were injured or killed or hurt. I think that mental health is something that is not taken seriously in the military. One of the things I used to say when I was in was like, it's going to take me saying I'm going to kill myself or I'm going to hurt somebody for me to get any type of help. And they'd be like, you know, you can't say that. Well, that's what I'm explaining to. Like, if I'm saying I'm having all of these issues, if I'm bringing them to you and you're telling me, well, you seem fine. Well, yes, I'm holding it together, but I'm about to snap. They don't care. It's when you do snap, then it's, oh no. And a lot of things happen in the military between soldiers that one shouldn't.
This is the guy that did it. I just wanted so people knew who he was and everything like that. But before I have Slim and Ken respond, I'm gonna play the next video where they talk about, them intervening and everything.
Morning, shortly before 11 o'clock, an active duty soldier assigned to Fort Stewart, Georgia, shot and wounded 5 of his fellow soldiers here on Fort Stewart. Thankfully, all are in stable condition and all are expected to recover. The alleged shooter is in custody. We have reestablished security. I have lifted all lockdown measures on Fort Stewart, and there is currently no threat to the local community. I'd like to recognize and thank our Army law enforcement and medical personnel and our partners from local, state, and federal law enforcement and emergency services for their quick response and support. I would also like to thank the brave soldiers who immediately intervened and subdued the shooter. These soldiers, without a doubt, prevented further casualties. Our wounded soldiers were initially evacuated to Winn Army Community Hospital right here on Fort Stewart. All arrived in stable condition, and 3 of the 5 required surgical intervention. 2 have been transported to Memorial Hospital in Savannah, Georgia for additional care. We have identified the alleged shooter as Sergeant Cornelius Radford, an automated logistics sergeant assigned to 2nd Brigade Combat Team. Sergeant Radford has not previously deployed to combat. Sergeant Radford has been interviewed by the Army Criminal Investigation Division and is currently in pretrial confinement, awaiting a charging decision by the Office of the Special Trial Counsel.
So, Slim, what I hear a lot of people on X saying is that why don't soldiers have weapons? And you just heard there that a guy never deployed, but he still did this. How do you feel hearing that?
It's weird, man. I'm looking for a motive. I'm wondering what the investigation is going to bring out. I'm wondering what the 5 guys going to say. It's kind of crazy that it's going down just like that. It has to be a reason. Maybe, his girl was cheating on him or something. Like, it has to be something that triggered this man to get like that. I don't see an individual just waking up, wilding out with no reason. You know what I mean? There's more to it. And I think that information has not yet dropped. That's what I feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure more is going to come out. Ken, before you respond, I want to show like the videos of what happened with the response and the audio call.
Okay. It's Rob. Okay. It's Rob.
They're just showing the same thing. I'm going to play the audio call.
Station 1, mutual aid request for a gunshot wound on Fort Stewart. It'll be building 8420 2nd Brigade, 8420 2nd Brigade, gunshot wound, mutual aid.
So, Ken, how do you feel hearing that? Do you feel like it was a good response and no people were, lost their lives during this?
I don't know if it was a good response. I'm just thinking about prevention. First of all, always check on your strong friend, right? And I think men have to get more out of their male friendships, right? Sometimes male friendships are very unfulfilling. It's very small. Sports talk, girl talk, right? But usually there's a vulnerability that we can't share with each other. There's an intimacy that is missing from male friendships. Traditionally, the woman has been a safe space for a lot of men. And with women kind of pouring into themselves a little more now men need each other more than ever. Like, we can fight with each other. We can play on sports team with each other, but we can't get a little too, with, oh, you being gay, you know what I mean? Or you being soft, or pull your skirt down, There's a certain level of intimacy that we can't talk to each other, right? So if you follow a timeline, when somebody crashes out like this, there's always signs. There's always, I need to talk to somebody. It's not just like that. It's a progression before it gets like that. And you're going to see more of these male crash outs. And the only people that can help men is men. That's it. So I'm more concerned with the prevention on this.
Sure. I want to show you guys a video when they found out he was a soldier.
News has just confirmed that the shooter was a U.S. soldier. Officials tell Fox News from the military that the shooter was a male U.S. Army sergeant. So we know, as suspected, the shooter was a soldier, a sergeant, wounding 5 U.S. soldiers on Fort Stewart. At least 2 of those 5 now been taken to hospital by ambulance, treated on the scene initially, but at least 2 serious enough to be taken by ambulance. There could be a 3rd on the way soon. Bad weather for helicopter flights, so they rushed them there. No fatalities, 5 shot, and the shooter, we've just learned, is a sergeant. No word yet on any possible motivation for these attacks.
I just wanted to show y'all that by lighting the mood. And I want to see what the guys definitely think about this. And Heaven, I want to definitely hear from a female's perspective. But I want y'all to watch and let y'all have y'all own thoughts.
I had to basically, let her know, like, it's not something that you did. It's just, this is who I am. I feel like she definitely got on board. Because it wasn't just always like, yeah, transgender child, yeah. No, it definitely took time. Like, so I have a good relationship with her, but my dad is just...
I'm sorry to hear that. I transitioned 4 times. I detransitioned, transition, detransition, transition, because I couldn't find myself. I didn't have self-love in myself. I didn't have confidence in myself. I just feel like when I was transitioning, I didn't know who was I and what I wanted to be.
Do you believe that was because you had no support? Did you have support?
I didn't have support from my family, but I did have a gay mother, Ebony Lane. She was the only support system that I had, but I didn't have the support. I had a sex change, and since I had the sex change, it's
congratulations.
Thank you. Since I had the sex change, it's just being me. I packed my stuff up and moved from LA and went to Vegas, and it's just me. And I'm still, fighting that mentally, having a sex change, getting a sex change. I was trying to and I just feel like I'm a survivor because as you know, sex change girls always commit suicide and
girl, you about to make me cry.
She's strong. And I've been through that, and I'm glad to be here today.
That wasn't a clip. Basically, what the girl was saying was that she waits months to tell the guy that she's a transgender. So I wanted to basically hear what guys had to hear to say about that. Heaven, I'll go to you first. What do you feel about someone concealing that they're a transgender?
That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. It's about being transparent and honest. And if you're trying to start a relationship or whatever with somebody, you got to start with transparency and honesty. And yeah, that's just that traps people. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like a man could start catching feelings. Then he says this, gets it all twisted. Now it's like, okay, how do I take this?
For sure.
And then it messes with emotions, I feel like, of men, because that's not something many men embrace.
For sure. Slim, I know you got a big take on this. How you feel about someone concealing, that they're trans?
It's so deceiving, man. I don't have a problem with it. I just have a problem with it, I guess. I don't know. It's like, as a man, we don't want to go out there and make that mistake and talk to a trans. or the trans not be honest. I respect trans that's being honest, but there's trans people that won't tell you nothing. You just gotta find out. And I think that's so deceiving. And I think a lot of people won't be able to handle that just off GP. So you see crazy stuff, a lot of crazy stuff about to happen. And I mean, it's probably happening right now. Like this dude's getting upset, taking people out. I don't want to kind of say it on YouTube, but I hear these stories, man, and I do not agree with it. I think it's deceiving, man. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't even watch that clip to be G with you. Oh man, it's a little tough for me, man.
For sure. Ken, how do you feel about transgenders concealing their sexuality or what they really are?
That's very telling, though. That just shows me that like most men don't know what a woman is, because what you're caught up in is glamour, right? To not be able to feel, not even sexually feel and know if that's a woman or not. So that means the average male does not really know what a woman is. For it to go that long and for somebody to not share that with you and you don't know it, that means you're caught up in glamour. Glamour is the aesthetic, the production. Now you might catch me off the appearance. I might not know that, right? But as we chilling and we're hanging out, a woman has a feel to her. If you know, you know. There's a thing. You ain't catching me like that. You might catch me off the glamour because the knife, the surgery is very powerful right now. But the feel of a woman, if you've been around them, if you've been in the trenches with women I've been in every environment with a woman, it's just a certain kind of feel. So my concern is, I don't think men know what a woman is outside of her face, outside of glamour, because how does that happen to you? Like just paying attention to detail, conversation, listening, like that's very telling. So I don't even put that on the person that's hiding that for 5 months. How do you not know that? I question the guy.
For sure. Doc, what about you? How you feel?
I think it's deceptive. I think it's wrong. And I think you put people in hard situations where a lot of men, depending on where they've been or whatever is taking place, you open yourself up for violence. So I think one of the biggest things is if you open and honest with people, you mitigate that risk for it being violence, and you just fall in with, like, I think it's just everything. When you in high school, when we was in the Army, when you go places, you kind of just fall in with your tribe and your group. You know what I mean? So what you forcing somebody now, to fall in somewhere where they, that's not something that they're into. So, I think if they're just honest with people and they upfront about who they are, they'll fall in with their tribe and it'll work out for them better. So I think they're doing a disservice to the other person and to themselves, because you're not tricking no man into that who not into that. You know what I mean? Like, so I think you're just wasting your time and somebody else's time, and it could get deadly.
For sure, for sure. Well, Slim came back, so I guess I gotta put some good news for Trump. Trump, got I think $500 billion from Apple.
You are. Hello, fellas. I missed you. Today, Apple is announcing that it will invest $600 billion, that's with a B, in the United States over the next 4 years. That's $100 billion more than they were originally going to invest. And this is the largest investment Apple has ever made in America and anywhere else. And it's just an honor to have you. As you know, Apple's been an investor in other countries a little bit. I won't say which ones, but a couple. And they're coming home. $600 billion. It's the biggest there is. The company is also unveiling its ambitious new American manufacturing program, which will bring factories and assembly lines across our country all roaring to life. Areas that were not doing so well are doing very well. We have about $17 trillion coming into the United States, which is more than ever before. That's never even come close. There's never been anything like it. Even you, that's even a lot of money for you. But we have commitments of more than $17 trillion. That was as of a couple of weeks ago. These investments will directly create more than 20,000 brand new American jobs and many thousands more at the Apple suppliers like Corning, Broadcom, Texas Instruments, and Samsung, who all deal in that world.
All right, he was getting boring. Slim, do you feel like Apple's jobs is going to help Americans bringing jobs back? How do you feel about the Apple deal?
You rather watch that Uncle Doodle Doo? Come on, bro. Yo, listen, my boy providing. He doing what he doing, man. I don't even know if that was something that, basically went by him. Maybe Apple did that on their own. No matter how it plays out, man, that's a step forward for the country. That's a step forward for the people. There's more jobs going to be created. So that's just what I see. I mean, that's what I expected from the Brody, man. Like, to be G with you, like, through all the smoke and mirrors, I just expected him to do his job, how you move. And, yo, he letting people know he talking his shit, yo. Like, $7 trillion. That's more. He looking at everybody. Yeah, more than even you. Yeah, what up? I love that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, salute. That's just what it's about. Keep going. Shoot. Let's get 30 trillion back into the United States. What's popping? I'm down.
Is this a W for Trump, Doc?
It could be a win. I would have to take a greater look into, how they're giving the money, what he's allocating it to. How much of the country did he sell them for that money? You know what I mean? Like, what percentage of his soul do they get for that little, what I'm saying, chunk of change? You know what I mean? So I had to check on that, because everybody knows nothing in this world is free. So nobody is giving Trump money. Ain't nobody never gave me no money. So ain't nobody giving Trump nothing. You know what I mean? So
I'll give you $1 if you want to get given $1.
You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? So
You can't say that.
Nah,
I'll
it's too
give
late.
you
I need more than $1. You feel me? Yeah. But
don't be greedy now. I offered to give you something. Shit. See, that's why you ain't got nothing.
You see what I'm saying? So it just depends on, what's the contingencies on the money, because I mean, of course they shook each other. I mean, if it's something that America can stand and we need the money, and it's something that, you know what I mean? Because he has to give them something. I'm not ignorant to that. And if it's worth it, I think he should. You know what I mean? The juice worth the squeeze. So that's just, because everybody's getting money from somewhere. So it just depends.
Well, before Ken and Heaven respond, I'll play their first ad, and maybe it'll give us some insight on it. All right. Oh, let me remove one of these. Well, it really didn't say much, but that's the ad they made for Trump. And Chris has said the exact same thing you're saying. So what's the trade-off? So, Ken, what do you think the trade-off is for Apple and Trump?
What's the trade-off? That humans won't be working those jobs. Apple is a technology company. So just because they built the plants here, I don't see a mass of human beings working those jobs. Apple's a technology company, so why wouldn't Apple program technology to work the technology? That just makes more sense. If anything, it'll be some skilled individuals managing the technology, but like an entire workforce, I don't know about that. I don't see that. I don't see that. And to add to that, so I think the average American needs more financial literacy, like jobs. That's cool. It's the problem still remains. People go to work and still live check to check. They don't know what to do with a dollar. They don't know how to invest their dollar. They don't know about life insurance. They don't know how the economy works, right? So everybody can have jobs, but the problem still remains of we're bad with money, right? So if there was some type of education and stuff like that, so I don't. But to answer the question, I don't see a bunch of people working these factories. I live in Arizona where there's self-driving cars running around and there's Amazon drones dropping packages, and on the college campuses there's little robots that deliver your food, right? So I don't see that. I don't see a bunch of people being pushed in the workforce. I don't see that.
For sure. Heaven, I know you always going at Trump. So is Trump bringing jobs back? Is this a trick? What do you think?
I'm not going at Trump. When math doesn't math, I ask questions. That's all. Because it don't matter if it was, what's her face in there? Miss, I'm just going to run this quick campaign and dip out and write a book. Wherever she at. Like, either one. They was both terrible. I digress. They took our money from healthcare and food benefits to build a fucking ballroom. You think they're doing anything for us? They have plants that are poisoning the air in Memphis. Do you think they're doing anything for us? Does Flint have clean water? Do you think they're doing anything for us? I don't care who it is up there. Every single one of them needs to get out, because none of them are doing what's needed to be done for the people based off the oath that they all took. I got it out for every single one of them. I'm definitely on a list somewhere. But it's no. What are they going to do for us? They're taking everything away from us. They're taxing us more and giving the tax breaks to the ultra wealthy. Like, it's affecting local communities that the Department of Education was cut. There's a high school that is just for children with special needs that are further than what the schools can handle. And they had to shut that school down because they no longer have the funding. So they had to put in another high school. It's affecting communities, but they can take all that money. I think it's just because he's upset about the jobs report and the lady he fired. So he had to have something to like bounce back off of. The jobs report, that was a lie. And we're bringing things here, but also the tariff on chips, making it impossible, or the ban on imports of chips or whatever he has going on, making it impossible for Apple to even produce outside of the United States.
For sure.
So they have to start producing here.
I want to do this last story for the guys. What is a man supposed to do when he finds out a child's not his?
Imagine being married to your wife and you have 3 kids with her. And then you find out that one of the kids is not yours. That means that your wife cheated on you. Crazy. How about if you found out that 2 of the kids that you thought were yours are not? Your blood is probably boiling at this point. Well, guess what? In the Sean Flood's case, this man found out that all 3 of the kids were not his. And to make things even worse, not only was this woman cheating on this man, she was cheating on him with his relatives. So the kids belong to his relatives. After getting this information, Deshaun decides to go down to his wife's job and confront her about it. She sees him coming and runs inside of one of her coworkers' car. That didn't stop Deshaun from shooting her multiple times. And when she tried to run while shot, Deshaun chased her down and pistol whipped her. After hearing the gunshot, some of the coworkers called the cops. The cops came, arrested Deshaun, and the wife made it to the hospital where she survived. There are some people on the internet that are saying it's a valid crash out because not only was she cheating on him, she was cheating on this man with his relatives. And others are saying that they believe that he took it too far. Imagine being married to your wife and you have 3.
Ken, was that a warranted crash out?
No, he picked her. If you got a lady that's sleeping with your partners, that's the energy you was attracted to. She didn't just jump out and start having that behavior. You knew she got down like that, right? For her to get down with your that close to home, then that means everybody kind of know who they with, right? So there was an energy that she got in her that you liked, right? But also, again, for you not to feel that, like, I think like sometimes we have to put things in a bot, like someone has to be a victim in the story, and I don't go there. First of all, you picked her. Second of all, I know there was an energy that you liked about her, right? So there's a potential that she might do some shit like that. Because if you get down like that, that's not random. You've been like that, and he met her like that. So why are you crashing out on your choice? If you're gonna crash out on yourself. You picked her. Don't we tell women choose better? We always tell women choose better. Choose better. Ain't no guy victims. I don't do that. Choose better. The same thing that we tell women, there's no men out here. He did this. You didn't see the signs? When women talk about an abusive husband, we always say, so you didn't see the signs. He never did nothing. No, sir, choose better. Same shit we tell women. Choose better.
Doc, you said, dang, she made it, so you felt like he was in the right?
Man, Deshaun need better aim, bro. She in the car. How do you miss this bitch, Deshaun? You supposed to push her shit back. I'm talking about slap to the trunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it would have been this car would have been a convertible if you playing with me like that. You know what I'm saying? And then they said it's his family. Man, I'd have been going right down the street to Cuz house and push his shit back too. Y'all playing with me like that out here. Hey, bro, hey. Deshaun should have been at the range practicing all these years. You know what I'm saying? And he know he had a hot pocket like that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, cause first off, like it's a different thing for it to be your partner or something like that. But this for to be your family. I could never in no amount of time ever even think about trying none of my cousins or my brothers or nobody like that. Like that's just out of bounds. And some stuff is out of bounds and it's gonna cause you to get your shit split. And that's one of them. Damn, Deshaun should have had better. And I can't believe this bitch made it. I'm a little mad about that.
Doc, you don't think this man knew her energy from the rip? I mean, to sleep with 3 family members, get knocked up by them. She has an energy that he liked from the jump. That's not no random behavior, bro. She didn't just do that out the blue.
I agree. She might have had that energy. But when you take disrespect to a certain level, you know when you disrespect somebody to a certain level when you go out your door, Ken, it's going to come with a certain amount of repercussions with that as well. So when you disrespect me to the 1,000 power, you know what's coming.
What if he a sucker though? Like, what if
he got to be because he missed her in the car. He got to be a sucker because there ain't no way you miss her in the car. You know what I'm saying? He still loved her. That's why he leg shot her. Ain't no way Deshaun should have blew her shit off.
Slim, how you feel? Should he have just walked away? What do you think? Yeah, you something wrong with your mic, Slim.
All right, my bad. I had to push it. Yo, I'm gonna keep it G. Ain't no coochie worth my freedom, bro.
I'm with you on that.
And I don't care how you. It is what it is. I mean, nobody even worth dying over for that, man. Just to keep it real, no disrespect, heaven, but I don't get emotional over things like that. I'm a little older now. When I was younger, probably, but it seems like this dude was young, and he got emotionally tied with the wrong individual, and like Ken was saying, he probably like adapted to that type of behavior, you know, that toxic type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this the time we living in. I mean, I gotta say, I'm not surprised. It's sad to say it, but I'm not surprised, bro.
Notice he ain't stepped to none of his male family members.
Yeah, I'm not
right. He ain't do nothing to them, right? And I bet you when you pull back the layers of their relationship, he got with her because she get down a certain kind of way, Like we just hear the news clips, but when we peel back the layers of people's relationship, they be equally yoked, dog.
Yo, I got something to add to that real quick.
Three of them crazy though. 3 of them is out of pocket. I cannot stand for this.
Yo.
3 of them is out of pocket. One, I would have said, okay, this bitch get down a little bit. All 3, and they hugged up like a family, and bro taking care. Bro probably changed them diapers. And one of them about 12.
Yo, there's a girl we grew up with, been with like 6 dudes in the neighborhood, and one of the homies married her. So trust me, I seen it.
Hey, having like, why do women put men in this position, especially if they know that the man will react? Like, what's your take on that?
I think it goes back on both ends to mental and emotional wellness. If you love yourself and respect yourself, then you are in a relationship, you're going to love and respect the person that you're with. And if you don't have the ability to do that within yourself, nor the awareness to even understand that that is your issue, which majority of people don't have, it's just unhealthy, toxic, unhealed behavior. And in this case, it ended tragically. Doc did have me dying over here, though. Right.
See, me, I would have stayed. I would have been like, everybody got to give me money. I would have made the family members and her make her OnlyFans. And I was like, I'm going to get my money back. Y'all about to do this right in front of me, and I'm going to get my money back.
I don't know. That's too much.
I mean, that's a good way to flip it. I mean, she going.
Right.
But that's your wife. That's so like, oh.
You going?
I don't know. I got them Army values drilled into me, but that was also like the
cookout,
street.
so I could get
You
them
stay
all
loyal.
over to the house. I ain't got to go find them all. You feel me? Yeah, I get a cookout. Everybody over here, yeah, how the ribs taste. You know what I'm saying? That's the last rib you gonna eat. You know what I'm saying?
Do a DNA test, because who was it? Which family member was it? Was it more than one family member?
That probably made it hard for him to tell too, because
Yeah,
they
like
look like him, and it's like, oh, but no,
Right.
you really look like bro. So it's just like
was it one family member or more than one? I need more detail.
I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer of hold your L. Some of us do things in life where we approach it and we are being dumb. Some of us approach things in life where we know this ain't a good look and we still go through it, right? We ain't always a victim in situations. And I'm a firm believer in holding your L. Now, in holding my L, this could be the worst situation of my life. How can I turn this around and make this work for me? Because crashing out, losing my freedom ain't it. So I'm with you, bro, on top. Like, okay, I got somebody that's going. We're already here. She's going. Let's do something with this going then. Let you owe me, right? So let's do something with this energy. You going. So let's keep it. We're that OF. Get it cracking.
word. For sure. Well, this was a serious and fun night. I feel like we really cover all like the stuff that men deal with. So I feel like we definitely cover men issues. Ken, it was great having you back. What's your final thoughts?
My final thoughts. I'll just piggyback off the last video. And my man that did the shooting or whatever. Like, check on your strong friend. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think it's an important space, a time for men to have more meaningful relationships with each other, beyond debating on who's the GOAT of the league. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But like, dudes is going through it right now. Dudes got financial issues. Dudes got mommy wounds, daddy wounds. Dudes have intimacy problems. And it's a season where men have to take care of men. You know what I mean? And we put a lot of pressure on the women in our lives to be our safe space. There are counselors, there are moms, then we have to sleep with them too. You know what I mean? So I think men have to come together and provide a better lane for each other to communicate.
For sure. Slim, welcome back. What's your final thoughts?
Oh man, good show. Definitely, man. Mental health is a serious thing. We all need to check on it. We all need to basically, like Ken said, check on your friends, man, you know. And at the end of the day, always stay positive. Keep the intelligence over the emotions. It's so important. Intelligence over emotions. If you can master that, you're gonna master a lot in your craft. You're gonna master a lot in your life, your family. So, and always keep God first. And football season started, baby. Let's go Steelers.
I got my Bucks jacket on, but I forgot to play this. If you're watching right now, hit that subscribe button and press that notification bell to know we go live. Doc, what's your final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm checking on my friends too. Look, any of y'all out there, any of my friends, if you can't kill a nigga in the front seat of a car, call me. Like, I will take you out here to practice. Bro, it's not that hard, bro. Like, you just gotta bite down and get through it. Trust me, I'll show you the paperwork. It's easier than you think. So, you know, y'all boys be blessed. And if you need me, call me and we'll figure it out together.
For sure. Heaven, what's your final thoughts?
Piggybacking off of Doc, it's all about breathing. You're breathing. Anyways, it's very important to focus on men's mental health. I think a lot of the stories that we covered tonight talked about that. I think women especially need to understand their role and how they mess with the mental and emotional well-being of men, and not always the other way around. But Ken, it was nice to have you on tonight again. Great, great feedback, great conversation, great information. I learned a lot.
Absolutely. My final thoughts is basically great show, guys, great panel. And like I said, we call it a man cave. So I'm definitely glad that we covered men's issues and we were able to talk about a lot of stuff that men deal with and that affects them mentally or emotionally. We do this every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you to the cast. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Keep rocking with us. You guys have a great night. Man cave.